Hello Internet, I'm Maher Busaba. With me now on video is Connor Kendi, and this is a live special Thursday night edition.
That live.
It's not live.
No.
Thursday night edition of Comics in the Dugout.
It's also not Thursday anymore. It's
Friday morning.
Yeah. Anyways, we just got back from the much anticipated Deadpool movie, and it was meh.
I put it above meh.
Above meh? Yeah, I would say
it was a perfectly optimal film.
Maher, just run through what you thought of it for our 6 viewers.
I think because Deadpool is hilariously, I'm not going to say overrated, but rated. You know, a lot of people were like, oh my god, it's Deadpool. By reputation, it's going to be like this big zany movie. Yeah. It's over the top. What's he going to do? It was and as I was expecting, it was an origin story. Yeah. And it was a good origin story. What really surprised me was they did story structure really well. I was not expecting that. It was funny. And I was just, when I was taking my leak, I was thinking, as a comedy movie, I laughed decently. It was like a good comedy movie. As a superhero movie, it was structured well. It was a good superhero movie. It didn't do either particularly well.
Yeah, I agree with a lot of what you said. For an origin movie, it was structured tremendously. It changed up the structure instead of just, hey, he has powers. Hey, montage. Hey, rest of the story. It started off with him as a hero and then kind of flashed back periodically, which was a really nice change of pace. It was a very refreshing thing for me to see. Also, the jokes. Of course, this is probably the most comedic comic book film that's been released. There was Ant-Man before it, which I personally think Ant-Man handled the comedic approach better.
Ant-Man also sort of exists in a post-Age of Ultron world where quips aren't as good as they used to be.
Oh god, Age of Ultron.
And Deadpool is very quippy.
Yeah.
Ant-Man was directed by the original script, rather, was by one of my favorite original scripters.
It never got to be directed.
Edgar Wright, who does visual comedy better than anybody else in the world.
Yeah.
Maybe not anybody else, but, point made.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, like, back to the Deadpool, it was so many one-liners.
Yeah, it was a lot of one-liners.
Some of them were great. There was a terrific one-liner about Professor X that I think I was the only one that the theater that actually heard it. You laughed? All right. I didn't hear anybody else laughing. That was the most I laughed in the movie.
Connor, it was highbrow humor.
It was very highbrow humor.
Deadpool audiences don't do highbrow.
No, and I've expressed my disdain towards the Deadpool audience, and this movie only made it grow even more, as I was stuck sitting next to a hyena who, I feel like if you walked up to this woman and told her why the chicken crossed the road joke, she would probably she would lose a gut laughing so hard. And that kind of took me out of the movie a bit, so I might have to see it again to
appreciate it more.
Yeah, appreciate it more. But other than that, there was a lot of like good jokes that didn't actually make me laugh, but I appreciate it. It was a very non-laugh. Like, you know how like there's those words
chuckle lines. Yeah,
not even a chuckle came out, but like I appreciate like the opening credits. Best opening credits I've ever seen, definitely.
They were phenomenal. That was a wonderful. It had a lot of really good gags. Yeah, I think that was better than the one-liners. It had really good setup jokes. My other thought that I forgot to say earlier, I brought this up to you. Colossus's accent was too cheesy for me. Too much. I am from Soviet Russia, comrade.
Well, I turned to you and Najee after the movie because you guys were talking about Colossus, and I was like, yeah. The original actor who played Colossus in X-Men 2, X-Men 3, and also Days of Future Past, he declined to reprise the role of Colossus because they told him, hey, you're going to be in the CGI suit the entire movie. Also, you're not actually going to be talking. We're going to bring somebody else in to voice over you.
You're not Russian enough, buddy.
Yeah, you're not stereotypically Russian enough. And I loved getting to see more Colossus. I don't know if I could have done with less Colossus, but like he didn't win me over as much as I would have liked.
He was optimal in the film.
Yeah. Also, villains they were better than most.
Yeah.
I'll give it that.
Superhero movies recently have done a really bad job with
Marvel.
As a whole, yeah, I agree. Marvel movies
let me fix that. Marvel Studio movies.
Marvel Studio movies have been very bad about villains, and this one did a perfectly passable job.
Yeah.
They didn't develop the bad guy at all, but they went with the whole, hey, he's a sociopath, there's your fucking origin story, and
what? That's
acceptable.
Yeah,
It's the same reason why with Guardians of the Galaxy I took it way better than I did with Thor 2, because the villains were equally developed, except for one, they said, well, I'm a space terrorist, and that makes it okay.
Yeah.
You're like, yeah, you know his whole background, he's a terrorist. There you go.
And let's talk about some pros, though. There was
Ryan Reynolds.
We'll get to Ryan Reynolds in a second. I want to talk about the two scene steals in this movie. There's Negasonic Teenage Warhead, that snarky teenager who clearly has gone through some stuff in middle school.
Juno.
Yeah, Juno. She was great in this movie. I loved her. I want to check out more stuff by this actress now, see what else she's done. Perfect characterization. And also the cab driver you see in the credits. I did not expect him to have... He didn't really have a role in the movie, but he stole it for me.
He did. They were both great. I've always said Deadpool as a character who very much needs to foil off somebody, and he did it with the cab driver very well. That was a fun dynamic. And with the snarky girl, that was another phenomenal dynamic. With Colossus, it was okay.
Yeah, and Colossus had, it's nice to see Colossus get more than 3 lines in a movie. I'll put it that way.
He had to be the main X-Man in a movie for that to happen.
Yeah, because they couldn't afford anyone else. I'm willing to bet they paid the actor that played Colossus and the voice actor combined. They probably made enough to live off middle class salary.
Yeah,
something like that.
So, your next thought, Connor, or are we going to do still pros?
The fight scenes.
So.
The rating I'm going to give this movie is mostly due to the fight scenes. I don't think a superhero movie's fighting choreography compares to what we got to see in Deadpool.
I would... Each fight scene, alternated between phenomenal and, decent to me. So it averaged out to, above average. But because some of them were kind of forgettable, but half of them were just amazing. And I think that's a really good percentage for...
The only fight scene that was a negative for me was the Colossus versus Angel Dust.
Yeah, that
was the only one that didn't work out, and that's because, hey, I'm gonna punch you. All right, now you punch me. Yeah,
that one didn't win me over.
There was only one part of that won me over.
A couple of the just random shooting scenes were kind of it was an action scene.
Yeah, if you all probably seen the trailers if you're gonna see this movie. Trailers give a fair amount away.
The bridge scene, as I expected, was phenomenal.
Yeah, it was great to watch it as a whole, but you've seen it.
Yeah.
It was great to just watch the action piece together. The jokes, And that was another thing. The audience kept eating up these jokes that we've seen probably 20 times just watching TV, or having an advertisement load on YouTube or something like that.
That's fair. We see them quite a lot.
Yeah. Now moving on to Ryan Reynolds. I said this on air. I said he was probably going to have the best performance in a comic book movie this year. He probably will.
Ryan Reynolds has won me over in my heart when I was 14 and first watched Van Wilder.
Yeah.
And he's continued to win me over in everything he's done since then. Even the really crappy rom-coms that nobody likes because...
Even Green Lantern.
He's just...
Yeah.
And it's like Hugh Jackman for Wolverine. Ryan Reynolds was just made for the role.
Yeah. Ryan Reynolds is never the problem in his movies. He brings 110% always. He's so dedicated, as we've seen. He's been working on this movie for 11 years, pretty much. God
bless his soul. For Origins, he became a fan of the character, and it shows.
Yeah. Great. Ryan Reynolds, terrific job. And supporting cast like T.J. Miller, too, was fun. Again, it was one of those things where it's joke, not all of the supporting.
One of my bigger disappointments for the film is a lot of the supporting characters, but it wasn't due to acting performances.
No.
Yeah, it was just... lack of depth.
The last thing I want to say, too, is there's been so much talk about the film needing to be rated R. It didn't. It was the R rating added to the fighting, which was great. Visually, it was a lot of fun to watch, but it didn't need to be R. It would have been just as good PG-13, I think. I don't think...
It wouldn't have lost a lot. It would have lost a bit, I think.
It would have lost a lot of fucks and a lot of tits.
Yeah.
And all the tits are in one scene.
Yeah. Well, more so, I think just the fight scenes were so good, Connor. It would really detract to take away from the gratuity of the movie.
I think the R rating just made it easier on the director.
Yeah.
So, and I think it would have been. A lot of the scenes would have been funnier if they had to censor out fuck every time.
Yeah, the swearing was overly done. You're allowed to swear. That's cool. thumbs up. I do it all the
Yeah.
time, but it was heavy-handed.
Yeah, it's one of those things where it's like, all right, you know a few other words, right?
Okay, Connor. On whatever arbitrary scale you want to give that film.
All right. A lot of people think scores like these means it's a bad movie. You didn't enjoy it.
I'm sorry. Say what you're gonna say.
That's it. I enjoyed the movie. It was good. There's nothing bad. There wasn't really anything bad about it, but there wasn't anything great. It didn't have that moment where it was like, oh, that was amazing. Even Age of Ultron had that with that opening scene, and I hated Age of Ultron. Deadpool was just, it was enjoyable. That was
it was an enjoyable film. Was your arbitrary scale with words?
No, I'm gonna give it an
Okay.
out of 10 rate. I'm gonna give it. It's borderline 7.58, mostly due to the fighting choreography and Ryan Reynolds.
I'm gonna give it an optimal out of on the magisterial scale. The lower point being.
Can you convert that to numbers for our audience matter?
Oh, Connor. That'd probably be around a 7.
Yeah.
An optimal film is about a 7.
Yeah. If you're a huge Deadpool fan though,
You're gonna love it.
yeah, you'll love the film. The audience was filled with huge Deadpool fans, and they ate the movie up.
If you're a fedora wearer with a neckbeard who goes chimichangas at conventions, this movie
there was a lot
made
of those
for
in our
you.
theater, like the hyena next to me. They
Am-
literally screamed
Connor?
chimichangas 3 times in the opening credits.
Am I an elitist asshole?
We both are.
Oh, okay, so it's okay. Well, this was a Comics the Dugout special Friday morning presentation.
Yeah, we're gonna try doing more YouTube stuff throughout the however long we continue doing this. So subscribe, like, share, all that stupid spiel that you probably won't do anyways. I know I don't do that.
Just listen to our radio show. I don't care about this YouTube account.
Wednesday,
other than
6 p.m. You can
doing things outside of our normal wheelhouse.
Yeah. There's a podcast system now for the radio show. I don't know exactly how it works. We'll explain to you.
The
one
recordings
day.
that gets emailed to us also get uploaded online. I think the link's down. I'll double check it with our tech guy, but he does such a great job.
We'll be doing another review of Deadpool during our show this upcoming week, along with Jeremiah Davis of the Evening Experience on WNBC, Fridays at 6.
So yeah, that's our special edition.
Yes.
Tune us out, Connor.
Please notice us. Please pay attention.
Say the line.
Oh, bye-bye.